ask everyone in this room a question. Are you passionate about what you're doing? Now don't worry, I'm not here to judge you. As a matter of fact, I was someone who did not enjoy what I studied in university. To be honest, I kind of hated it. Hello everybody, my name is Annie and I'm a UX designer in Japan. To be specific, I am a business student turned UX designer. The secret? Personal branding. Let me tell you more about it. My path to becoming a UX designer in Japan was not a typical one. I didn't have a background in tech or design, and I don't even speak perfect Japanese. I was just a business student, and I didn't plan on studying business. In high school, I enjoyed making posters and creating crafts. I've always thought my designs were nice, but definitely not the most outstanding ones in class. In Vietnam, we have this belief that the more swirls you have on your fingertips, the more artistic you are. Well, I had 0. Maybe just 1. Or at least that's what I told myself. I thought about pursuing a creative direction, but just thinking about all the amazing people I'll be in the same class with really shut down my confidence. Maybe this is the wrong choice. Maybe it should just be a side hobby. Maybe I'm just not cut out to design or create for a career. So, I chose the next best thing. Business. Now, it was the safer choice because my family had a stationery business in Ho Chi Minh City, and both of my parents were working directly in business. My mother was a finance representative turned subway entrepreneur, and my father used to be an auditor for a bank in Vietnam. So, I chose what was more familiar to me and packed my passion away for creativity into a box for pastime activities. Fast forward to 2018, I got accepted to a university in Beppu, which is a rural city in the countryside of Japan. My major? Business. Now, it was a good school, don't get me wrong. But it just didn't feel right. I was not enjoying class. Economics was my worst subject, finance didn't make sense, and don't get me started on the balance sheet. They were just never balanced. Literally having goosebumps right now from hearing it. I guess out of all of the classes, I enjoyed marketing the most, because we get to propose a lot of creative campaigns to the class. That was really fun. I always volunteered to make the presentation slides. But other than that, I couldn't understand anything. And in business school, it's all about networking. You know, going to events, meeting new people, getting their contact. So I would push myself to do those things as well. But here's the thing. I am so bad with crowds. I was freakishly shy. Though I would still go to these events because the topic was really interesting. I always found myself sitting at the very front row or at the corner of the room by myself, while others came with their groups of friends. So, classes weren't going well and my social life was terrible. I was in a new country by myself, struggling to pass my classes, and always wondered whether I made the right choice to come here. I've always felt like I was never enough, and that business just wasn't for me. All my life, I was told and believed that life should be very linear. You know, you work hard, you get good grades. You study business, you get a stable income. If you wanted to do art, then you should have gone to an art school. But my whole perspective changed when I went to Canada. There, I met people who embraced their stories, were very vocal of who they were, even their vulnerable sides. Now, life in Canada as an exchange student was incredible. I made friends with people from all over the world. I also went on hikes, so many hikes. and I was just obsessed with the Canadian poutine. I mean, French fries, cheese curds, and gravy, 10 out of 10. But living in Canada also had its ups and downs. I was taking full credits and was enrolled in some pretty challenging business courses. There were good days, but there were also bad ones. And when those bad days would come upon me, I always remembered going to this ice cream store called Rain or Shine. They had the best ice cream. But what was more fascinating than the 300 flavors they offered was the story of how the shop came to be. The owner was a married couple who worked in finance and education respectively, but together shared a big love for homemade desserts. By combining their managerial skills and educational spirits, they turned their passion and turning it into a locally sourced high-end dessert shop, which later became a well-beloved brand in Vancouver. In Canada, I also used to eat at the cafeteria a lot. And whenever I would want to throw away the trash, I would always see this separate bin just for chopsticks. As it turns out, there was a man who studied carpentry and woodworking, but at the same time was so upset about construction waste problems. So to solve this issue, he founded the world's first circular economy franchise, recycling chopsticks and turning them into high-performing, sustainable, beautiful furniture designs. Finally, I remember this one time I went on a startup crawl, which is an event held by the university's entrepreneurship club. There, I met a woman who combined her passion for children's education and exploratory cooking to open a Montessori-inspired cooking academy. This cooking academy taught children practical life skills and how to make responsible eating choices for a healthier and happier life. So, finance and education versus ice cream, recycling versus carpentry, children's education versus cooking. They don't really have much of a connection, do they? But those people made it work. They were combining what they were good at with what they truly enjoyed, no matter how illogical or random they may sound. It was their stories, and they embraced it. And they consistently followed what they stood for, while convincing the world that it was perfectly fine to do so. So, the next time I hear Shine Ice Cream, Shop Value, and Little Kitchen Academy, my mind would start imagining the founders and their unique personal stories. Very strong images. Then it dawned on me. In the pursuit of their passion, while sharing it with the world, these people were actively branding their personal stories. That's personal branding. Now, personal branding may sound like a scary word, but it actually isn't such a difficult concept. Your personal brand is everything you present to other people that shape how other people view you. People here can be as close as your friends or teachers to more distant individuals, like someone you meet at a TED Talk or your future employer. Personal branding starts with you. So that's what I did. I started with myself. Being the business student that I was, I went back and did the most business thing a business student would do. Can you guess? I made a SWOT analysis. I made a SWOT analysis on myself. Now, a SWOT analysis is a planning and management technique where you have 4 blocks that helps you identify your strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. So I made a survey and sent it out to my friends, asking them what impressions they had of me, what made me special in their eyes. Then I did a self-analysis and compared the results. Here are some of the words I got. Extroverted, business smart, willing to try new things, creative, and wholesome. I guess I'm an introverted, wholesome business person with a creative mind who apparently loves to try new things. A bit of everything, but definitely sounds more like me. Sure, I may not have the background in art or design, but I can actually bring in my background and knowledge from business. I have the marketing skills to make products that are desirable to customers. And being the wholesome person that I am, I can actually empathize and relate more to people's problems and needs, thereby creating even more human-centric solutions and designs. I can be a marketing-oriented designer. Yeah, that's my story. This is who I am. So that's the first half of the concept. Owning your story. The latter half is branding yourself. What this essentially means is to continually build your profile and continuously share what you do with other people. After attending countless of events and conferences, I finally found a way to truly enjoy them recently. I don't pressure myself in getting 10 name cards by the end of the night, but instead, focusing on one or two people that I genuinely want to connect with. Taking my time to open up, once I find that sweet spot, I find myself even more comfortable in sharing my story. I've connected with entrepreneurs and business leaders who became my career mentors. I also want vibes with people from business, design, tech, who introduced me to even more people that share similar stories, skills, and interests as I. These people were actually the ones who introduced me to the world of user experience and UX design. Something I can combine my mind from the business world with my heart for creativity without having to compromise any of my skills or values. Since then, I've been practicing and honing my craft. Starting simple, with learning design by myself, then stepping into self-initiated projects and networking events. Utilizing platforms I'm comfortable with, social media such as LinkedIn, Instagram, and blogs to document and share my stories and learnings with others, promoting myself as someone who taught herself design and who is not afraid to follow her passion. In the past 4 years, I have been to more than 40 tech, product, and related events. I also did some hackathons, online classes, giving talks, writing articles, just continuously, endlessly, and shamelessly promoting myself as a self-taught designer with a marketing background. It was really scary to be vulnerable about your lack of skills or knowledge. But it actually made me stand out even more, and it created my own trademark. So, what did personal branding get me to where I am right now? Currently, I volunteer at my museum as a UX/UI designer, tackling the plastic crisis and leading a movement for sustainable living. Actually, this is my first project, building a hydration tracking feature that is now being used by more than 70,000 people worldwide. I also got a job before graduation, and I'm now working as a UI/UX engineer at Japan's #1 e-commerce platform. I was able to achieve them with no background in tech or design. I was able to achieve them with only my name and a portfolio full of proof. I had a very strong brand, and it won them over. So, today I told you about the story of how I found myself stuck between options, only to realize that I didn't have to choose one or the other, but there's a way to combine both. I took a chance on myself, and in return, others took a chance on me. So, why am I telling you my story? To brand myself. Yes, that is part of the process. but I also like to make a point. Personal branding is for everyone. What is your true passion? What makes your heart beat faster? What gives you butterflies in the stomach? Whether you are a student, a working person, an entrepreneur, or anything in between, you have your own brand. Your brand is not only showing off your skills, achievements, and strengths, but also your values, passion, and personality. So, don't feel intimidated by what internships your classmates are doing. Go and pursue the thing that has been at the back of your mind since forever. Don't feel pressured to follow what others have been doing to achieve success. Focus on what gives you excitement in your work and think about what sets you apart from others. Continue to explore those personalities, sharpen those skills, and amplify your brand with your network. Just like how I had my story, you too have your own story. No matter how big or small, how normal or weird, ultimately it comes down to how you see yourself and how you choose to tell it to other people. So, let me leave you with one last question. What is your personal brand? Thank you.